Hello, this is Jill from Paper Daisy Crafting. Thank you for joining me today. And today we are looking at this project. I'm going to make this project. This is so fab. When I saw this stamp set, which is called Field of Flowers, I nearly yelped with joy because I noticed that actually, can you see my banner up here? Can you see how I can replicate that? It's absolutely, in fact, could have been made for me, this stamp set. Really love it. I love the little punch. So I've shown you this before. We did a card the other day with this punch. I think I did a video for it. Yes, I did. Yes, I did do a video for it. This is the Confetti Flowers Border Punch, which coordinates with the little stamp down here. Lovely little flowers. So I've stamped them and then punched them out on this, but just love the whole thing. Really enjoying it. I just wish there was something that said something about a birthday on here, because I do so many birthdays. I love that always font on this with these fonts, but I'm not sure. Always thinking of you I might use, but apart from that I'm not sure how many of those sentiments I'm going to use. But I love the flowers. I love this. I haven't used this yet. I love the little dragonfly. Love this flower. Yeah, really well worth the money. Anyway, let's get started. So this was my card for the Poodles team blog hop on Saturday. Saturday the 6th of June, if you're looking for it on my blog. And today we're going to make a version of this. As always, I'm going to change up the colours in the video. So I'm going to make a slightly different colour scheme. So let's get started. So I'm going to use, instead of the Pool Party base, which I used on this one, I'm going to use soft sea foam base. I love this soft green. I thought it might look quite nice with the daisies. And so what we need first of all is a piece of white Whisper White card. This can be our thin Whisper White. You don't need to be extravagant and use a thick, because it's going to layer onto the cardstock. So you only need to use our thick when you're actually making the card blank out of it. So otherwise use the thin, because it's a bit cheaper. We'll go further for your money. Right, okay, and I'm going to put a little bit of scrap paper under here, because I don't want to mark my grid paper, because I want to keep my grid paper nice and pristine. So I'm going to open up my soft sea foam stamp pad, she says. Easier said than done. And I am going to stamp the whole of this stamp. So you're going to have to stamp along the stamp pad to get it all on. It's looking like this stamp pad is a bit dry, actually. Hoping it's going to be all right and not too pale. Looks like I could do with a bit of re-inker on there. I'll do that after this video. Right, and I'm not going to do it right down the bottom. I'm going to do it fairly close to the bottom, but I can trim it off. And I'm just going to start from the end and put that on. But my card, oh, that's okay. It's quite nice and pale though. So it's going to be very different to this one, being more pastel-y. So you can see that my card is longer than the stamp. So what I'm going to do is re-ink again. I don't need to do the whole length of the stamp, because I only need a part of it. I'm afraid you might get my head in the way here. You might see the top of my head. Don't look at my grey roots coming through. And just... Sorry, am I in the way here? Just very aware. I need to get right over. I'm going to put it down a bit here. Sorry if that's off camera, but I just need to get this positioned. Right, if I slide that up again, you can see what I'm doing. There, I've lined it up there and along the bottom. Hopefully, there we go. It's not quite lined up along the bottom. I'm going to trim that off anyway, so that won't matter. So we've got a whole length there. So what I can then do is bring in my little mini trimmer, which I love. And I'm going to just take my card base and I'm going to trim that little bit off, because it's a bit longer than I need. I could have started with a shorter piece of card. Just trim that off. Won't fit in my trimmer as long as it is. Oh, it's looking lovely. Matches exactly. It's so nice about this Stampin' Up stuff. The colours just coordinate brilliantly. So that coordinates with that so well. Oh, so lovely. Here we go. So we're going to line that up, and we're just going to trim that down so that the stems are right at the bottom. Actually, I'm going to trim even a little bit more off there, just one more little trim, just to get it really not wonky. There we go. Right, just trim that so they're all going off the edge there. And then, and I've forgotten how wide this is, so I'm going to look it up. I think it's something like or yeah, 4.3 centimeters, or 1 and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 11 sixteenths, I think. So 4.3, I'm going to do it. So just lining up on here, there's 4, 1, 2, 3, and then making sure it's lined up at the bottom so you get it straight, which is brilliant about this little cutter. It's so easy to line everything up and trim that off. And that's our panel to go on our card. So I'll take my Tombow, and I'm going to put it not at the bottom of the card. I'm going to leave a little bit of green showing. So I'm going to take my Tombow and put a little bit of Tombow on the back here, like so. And don't need too much. Don't use, if you're using liquid glue, don't use too much liquid glue, because it can, even really good quality glues can warp the paper. So you need as little as possible, really. That's why I always use I usually use the fine end, or else I use the other end and then spread it quite thinly. But I quite like using a cocktail stick to spread my glue. It's just a habit I've got into. Because I'm a quiller as well, I use a cocktail stick to quill. So when I'm using glue on my quilling, so I use that. Just had a light bulb moment actually there as I was talking to you, and thinking I could use these stems and do little quilled flowers to go on here. I'm gonna, as soon as I come off this video, I'm gonna try that. I'll be back soon with another version of this using quilling. Right, okay, now we get to the flowers. Now for the flowers this time, on my sample I used Melon Mambo, Daffodil Delight, Gorgeous Grape and Coastal Cabana. On this version, I'm going to use a different selection. I'm going to go back to one of my favourite colour combinations, which is Coastal Cabana still, but with Balmy Blue, Gorgeous Grape and Highland Heather. And I've already punched out quite a lot of those little flowers, but I'm just going to punch out one more lot to show you how to do this. It's not tricky. So I've got the stamp here, and what I know is that the two big ones are going at the top to go into my punch, so I know that they need to be at the top. And I'm going to do it at this end of my piece of card, because then I can slip it in there and hold it while I'm doing it. So I'm going to do that, and I'm going to do them. Can't remember what colour I needed to do. I'll do Coastal Cabana. It might not be the colour that I needed, but hey ho, we'll have more Coastal Cabana than anything else. So there we go. So just stamp that like that. I do apologise if my head is going over here. Maybe I need to move my camera further back next time. Apologise if I'm getting my great big head in the way all the time. So now this fits in here. And you can just take, so you can see I've got a handle on it by using and you just need to take a little bit of time to line all those up. It's not hard, but just take your time to do it so that they are positioned nicely. There we go. I think that's about right. And I've got that gripped but not cut yet, so I can do that. And I'm going to turn it up the other way, because otherwise, if you do it this way up, they all fly up all over the place, as I've discovered. So turn it round to do the punching. So there's all those little flowers all punched out. And I just did that several times in several different colours, obviously cleaning the stamp in between the ink colours. I've lost one there. I've lost a little tiny one, but hey ho. There should be 6 little flowers when you do that. Is it still in the punch? No. Oh, I don't know where the 6th one went, but hey ho, I'm not going to waste time looking for it. So now what I did with this one was I put some of the bigger flowers I put on dimensionals, and our mini dimensionals fit exactly. Can you see that? I don't know how close I can bring that to the camera and be in view. Can you see that? That fits exactly on that little flower. So that's quite good. So you can just put a little, I've used a half of one on some of them because I had just cut them in half. So I'm just going to take the backing off. I've put dimensionals on these just to make it quicker, and start placing your flowers. So where should we put that one? Right there. They don't even need to actually be on the stems really. So just randomly placing your flowers on here. It's the joy of a card like this. You can put them anywhere you like and it's not going to look wrong. And it's quite fun to do as well. There we go. Have I got any more that I've already put dimensionals on? I can add a few more dimensionals if I want them on here. While I'm on my video, I just wanted to remind you about my 2-for-1 sale. Some of my retired Stampin' Up stuff I've put on my blog, and it's a 2-for-1 sale. So there's a price on everything, but if there's anything that you want, you can buy it and then you can then choose anything from the sale absolutely free. So you can get a real bargain there. Some of the things are used, but they're very lightly used. I'm going to have to add another one with a dimensional on here. What colour do I want? Balmy blue. Some of them are lightly used. Some of them are brand new. They're things I bought and never got around to using. So, but I haven't specified which is which, but there are photos of them all on there. So you can see the sort of condition that the sets are in. And so you buy one thing and you can choose anything. It will be the lowest price item in each pair that is cheapest. And I'm just about today, hopefully, if I get time, to add some fast fuse, because I found a cupboard full of fast fuse, which we don't sell anymore. So I'm putting fast fuse and refills on there. So if you're a lover of fast fuse, you can get an actual fast fuse and a refill for just the price of the fast fuse. Just having a slurp of coffee. So please do have a look. Go to the top of my blog and there's a tab there that says 2-for-1 sale. And just have a little look and see if there's anything you're interested in. Postage on all orders is £2 no matter how much you buy. So if it costs more than that, I will pay the postage. So just have a little look and see if there's anything you fancy. Right, and now I'm coming back in. I've just put some little dots of Tombow, and I'm coming back in with some of the tiny flowers. I don't know about you, but I find tweezers really useful for this kind of thing. And just plonking them on. So, and you can make this as full or as sparse as you want to. You don't have to put as many on. You can put more on, just to make it look quite pretty. I'm quite liking this colour scheme. So wherever there's a space, plonk. And I'm just using the little ones. You can use, there's middle-sized ones as well you could use if that was what you'd wanted to do. I find it quite therapeutic doing this. I love doing it. It is quite fiddly. A lot of people think it's too fiddly to bother with, but I'm loving it. I like a bit of a fiddle. One there maybe. There we go. Let's try and get some more blues. Blue one there. Purple one in the middle there, I think. What colour up there? Coastal Cabana, if I've got one. That's not Coastal Cabana. There we go. There, okay. Yeah, that's enough. Yep. Doesn't look as full as this one, does it? Have I done them a bit more sparsely? Okay, so I might fill it out a bit. I might put some of the middle-sized ones on here then. I might just come in and put some middle-sized ones in. I do a lot of this. I change my mind as I craft. You just have to bear with me, I'm afraid. Right, let's do a Coastal Cabana one there. Oh, that's a big one. I want a medium-sized Coastal Cabana. There we are. So just didn't look quite full enough as the other one did. So I'm just going to fill in a few more of the spaces. I'll put another one up there. So some on dimensionals, some just as they are, just stuck on. Coastal Cabana, where could this one go? Not there, that's too many. There. Put that there. Try and vary the colours so that it looks a bit random, but it doesn't really matter. Because if you've got only 4 colours, you're a bit limited. What's that one? Put another little one in there. Does that look better? That's a bit more filled out, isn't it? And you can fill out as much as you like. You don't have to stop there. You can carry on. Right, okay. And then I'm just going to do a little bit of stamping with the dragonfly. Doesn't look like I've cleaned that. So I'm going to take... Oh, where's my... Find my... Oh, there it is. Sorry. My chamois. and clean off my stamp. No, I hadn't cleaned it since I used it with Peel Party. And I'm going to do toning stamping with the soft sea foam. So it will be more or less the same colour as the card. Like so. And don't forget that we have a fab offer with Stampin' Up at the minute, that if you spend, I know it's a lot to spend, but if you were going to spend over a few months, you might well spend it. £200, you'll get an extra £20 of rewards. So you'd get £20 anyway, so you'd get £40 of extra rewards for spending £200 at the minute. There's so many nice things in the new catalogue, you might well find it easy to spend £200 and then have an extra £40 to spend on yourself, which would be lovely. Another slurp of coffee. Right, okay, the last thing we're going to do is the banner saying happy birthday. This is going to be a happy birthday card. I have so many birthdays to buy for and make cards for in June. It's my sisters, 2 daughters, 3 friends from college, another couple of friends, so loads of birthdays, or a niece. So I've got loads of birthdays to buy for, so I'm making loads of cards. I mean, that's that other flower, just found it. Loads of people to make cards for, so these will be for 2 of them. So I've just used my Stampin' Buddy. Where did I put it there? Just to run over this, because I'm going to do white embossing, so I want to make sure there's no sticky fingerprints going to cling there. And then I'm going to use, she says, if I, oh, there it is. Okay, the happy birthday greeting, which is from this stamp set. Now, this is a fab stamp set to get all these greetings. I think even if it was just all those greetings, it would be quite good value. I think it's £20, I want to say, but it's got this great big lovely flower stamp there, and some little flowers and leaves as well. So it's a really, and it's got all this watercolor effect, so when you stamp it, it appears to be watercolored, but actually it's stamped. I'll be showing you a sample using that soon, but anyway, for today I'm using the happy birthday from there, and I think that's going to be my go-to sentiment set for this catalogue. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stamp this, and I'm going to stamp it as close to the bottom as I can, but straight, hopefully, because that just makes it easier to trim it down. So I've stamped that with Versamark. I'm then just going to come in with my white embossing powder. Give it a flick to get any stray specks off, but that's fine. And then, oh, of course, I've unplugged my heat gun. Give me a sec. I was tripping over it today, so I unplugged it. There we go. Right, and just start that up. You'll notice that a lot of my equipment you see me using is actually quite old, this heat gun being one of them. I've had this ever since I started stamping, which was in the early 2000s. So it's probably getting on for 20 years old, but it still keeps going. It's a bit broken. I've got bits broken off it and things, but it still keeps going. So until it does break down, I'm going to keep using it. I'm not going to replace it. I'll possibly buy a new one from Stampin' Up and find out how much more efficient and how dreadful this one is, but at the moment I don't know any difference, so I'm carrying on with it. I like to save my money to buy new goodies rather than just replacing things. Right, okay, so I've done that, embossed that, and now I just need to trim that off, trying to make sure it's straight and leaving the same amount on one side, on the top side, as I did on the bottom. So just doing that by eye. Oh, that's not bad. Made a better job than that than I did on the previous one. And then to cut the banner side, cut it off to the length you want the ends of the banner. Oh, actually, no, this is the wrong end. So this one needs to be trimmed off to there. This end needs to be the banner, and that's actually quite a good length. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go halfway and cut in, and then from the corner to the middle, and then the corner to the middle will give you a nice fishtail there. And that is just going to stick here. Oh, that livens it up nicely, doesn't it? So, take my Tombow again. just glue that on. And there we have it. My Field of Flowers birthday card. This one isn't quite so reminiscent as my border because I've used different colours, but still quite pretty. I quite like that colour scheme, that's quite pretty. And inside, just wanted to show you inside the original. I did a very similar thing. So I took a piece of cardstock that was about, I just cut it so it's slightly smaller than the thing. Stamped again the grasses, and then stuck the flowers on. Just stuck them all down without any dimensionals, which gives you a really nice inside. I'm going to do that one on this one when you go. I'm going to finish this one off. But I hope you like that. I think they're really pretty. Love this stamp set. Can see lots of potential for it, especially these little flowers. So I'll be back again to show you another sample very soon. Thanks very much. Bye-bye.